We're looking at question 20 right now, which is a transition sentences question. You'll see 1 to 2 of these on your exam, and we can identify them because they always begin the same way. Which choice provides the most effective transition from the previous paragraph? So in order to answer this question, you have to understand both this paragraph and this paragraph. You have to understand the point that each one is making and select a choice that leads from one point to the next. So let's quickly read these 2 paragraphs. This is from a passage about historical accuracy in film. This deliberate decision to forego accuracy for cinematic effect, however, may be met with public criticism. When Tony Kushner, the screenwriter for Lincoln, portrayed 2 Connecticut congressmen as voting against the 13th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, a current Connecticut congressman wrote a letter to the movie studio urging it to correct this error. Kushner responded by stating Lincoln upheld the expectations of a dramatic film because it illustrated the amendment's narrow vote, and Doris Kearns Goodwin, the film's historical consultant, defending Kushner's script. That is an error. It's probably defended. Yeah. Sorry. Just automatic copy editing brain. Here's our underlined transition sentence. Why then is historical accuracy important in film? Kate Williams, a British historian, believes that filmmakers have a great responsibility. How they present the past is how it gets remembered. Historical consultants must assure that filmmakers take this responsibility seriously. As films continue to engage with history, historical consultants will continue to preserve history's intricacies. So which choice provides the most effective transition from the previous paragraph? So the previous paragraph brings up this incorrect thing, this invented fiction in which 2 Connecticut congressmen voted against the 13th Amendment and actually a present-day Connecticut congressman said, no, actually, the real Connecticut congressman back then actually voted for it, and that the studio should correct the error. Let's ask ourselves about the purpose. What is the purpose of the information we are transitioning to? So in this first paragraph, we're talking about an inaccuracy and why Kushner included the inaccuracy, which is for the sake of drama, and why the historical consultant said that was fine. So we have Kushner and Goodwin saying that dramatic truth is more important than strict historical accuracy. And then we have this British historian who points out how important it is for filmmakers to think about their responsibilities when they're making historical films because it shapes how the past is remembered. So what we have in the first paragraph is a reason to discard historical accuracy, and in the second paragraph, we have a reason to keep it. So then the purpose of the second paragraph is to provide a counterexample for the first one. So let's examine our choices. First choice is what we've already got in the passage. Why then is historical accuracy important in films? This sets up a question that is answered by Kate Williams. That's a pretty plausible choice. I'm going to put an arrow by it. Choice B, what about directors who are less concerned about historical accuracy? Well, the following paragraph doesn't discuss that. It discusses the responsibilities that filmmakers have according to this historian. Choice C, consequently, do movies that take place in the very recent past require historical consultants? The very recent past is not mentioned in the second paragraph, so we can also cross this off. And finally, what sources should filmmakers consult to ensure historical accuracy in their films? While historical consultants are mentioned in the passage and in the second paragraph, choice D doesn't provide an effective transition to the Kate Williams quote. It doesn't have anything to do with the responsibility of filmmakers. What you're looking for is the gap between these 2 paragraphs, and we're looking for the choice that best fills that gap. You can imagine these 2 paragraphs without the underlined sentence or any of the choices, and then go back and plug each one of them in and see which one actually does the work of bridging them. And I think that choice A, no change, does the work of bridging these 2 contrasting ideas. The first paragraph says, historical accuracy can be sacrificed to serve the dramatic needs of a story. And the second one says, yeah, but it's still important because the way the past is portrayed shapes how the public sees the past. So identify the purpose, find the gap, figure out what fills the gap. And remember, in questions like these, unlike question 19, which appears to be some kind of shift in verb tense question, questions about like argument development, like question 20, all of those answers are going to be grammatically correct. They might all sound good, so don't try to do transition questions by just choosing the option that sounds best to you. We see a lot of students make mistakes when they approach questions like this in that way. Your best bet is actually to identify the points that are being made before and after the transition, and then select the choice that actually connects them, without introducing extra information or blurring the focus in any way.